Hi, my name is Zoran. I want to learn to program, and this is me documenting and posting videos of my process. This came about after having a chat with a friend who said, that's a cool idea that you have, and you could make it a video." So I was like, okay, why not document everything that I'm doing? And maybe it's going to give me a bit more staying power in this journey of learning programming. So I've tried to learn many, many times in the past, and always sort of gave up when I hit a brick wall, and or just had much work to do and other things in life. So I never really went through with it. I guess programming is not something you go through with. It's an ongoing process, ongoing learning. So I would say every time I've come back to it, I've learned more, but still I'm barely a beginner. So I don't want to, I don't want you to have big expectations here. It's gonna be very boring, this video. That's what I expect. It's gonna be uh, too slow. It's gonna be frustrating, especially for me, because I'm gonna run into some issues for sure. And this is all one thing. So there are no edits. There's nothing. Think of this like a live stream that I've recorded instead of streaming, because I'm still figuring some things out. And with that being said, thank you for visiting. Uh, let's get started. So what I'm building here is already something that I've started for already. So I'm not gonna start from scratch. I am building trading bots for Kraken. For now, it's like the MVP is that eventually I'll be able to make trades with it. But right now, it's actually not what I'm really trying to do immediately. My focus right now is just to set up the API so that I can pull data and then find a way, what is the best way to store the data and process the data so I can extract from the data indicators. Now, there are already some APIs you can use for indicators. I found. However, I just want to go through with it the way I started, which is going through with the Kraken API, and then see if I can figure out, okay, what is it that I need to do technical analysis. And the end goal is to have something I can use to package market data and give it to different AI systems like Claude, ChatGPT, and R1 with a task to create a day trade for that particular exchange or that particular asset pair, and then track their performance over time. And the trade must start and end within the day. So it's gonna be like, I don't know, some small trades that we're hoping to close quickly in profit. And to be honest, I really don't know what to expect, what the recommendations will be for what kind of trades the AI will recommend. And this is what also makes it interesting. So I'm not much of a trader, and I think AI will do a better job than me, especially if I am able to provide it with relevant and accurate and recent and actionable information. And that's the goal of my software here, is to extract the data that my AI is going to need to give me good decisions, to increase the chances of a good decision. Because I tried, for example, Perplexity, and you don't get to control the sources of the market data. So this is a better approach. You could argue with Perplexity, hey, you didn't get the right data, etc., etc. Okay. Anyways, so far I only have like this structure here. Let me just go through, because this is the first time I'm sharing this with you. I'm using Code and Klein as my assistants. This is not vibe coding. So I'm not taking everything for granted. I'm taking it slow. I'm asking questions. I'm asking, why you did this, etc., etc. So I have the docs that are based on my prompt, which is about learning. The documentation from Kraken, which I also have here. And I realized, I've been talking about my project so much, but yeah, I haven't really showed anything. Anyway, yeah, it's all good. So I'm gonna show it now. So we have client docs, we have the documentation, and then we have the main. I don't know what to call it, the main folder of the software. We have a source, tests, and virtual environment, and then PyTest any requirements. There seems to be a problem here. Oh, okay, this is a Git issue. But yeah, it's very bare bones. So the API, for example, has only one class with two methods, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are my next steps, etc., etc. I really don't know. Like, this is where I struggle the most. I can sort of try to understand how things might work, but planning the software and understanding what needs to be the next step is really a nightmare for me. And if I didn't have AI, it would have been much more difficult. So let me just try to understand where I last ended up. So the way I would do that is by looking at the active context. So we did implement some basic API structure, error handling with try except. We requested some explanation for the request parameters. And what are the next steps? So we need to implement additional market data endpoints, add comprehensive testing, and enhance documentation as needed. So these are the goals. Let's start with one. But first, check if the last task was successfully completed. And I'm asking the AI now to check, because the way I'm using it is I'm saying, hey, give me tasks that I can do to bring this software into fruition. And let's see, the error handling changes have been successfully applied to both methods and the Kraken API client, as seen in the get server time and get asset pairs. Okay, so now I think it's going way too fast right now for me. I mean, let's try to see if I understand. Review API documentation. Okay, I can do that. Add methods for the chosen endpoints in client.py, ensuring each method uses the same error handling practices. Tests. Okay, tests can come later. Okay, let's, I guess, I don't know how, this is also why are tests important here. I mean, I need to be able to call this somehow. And I guess tests are good, but it's so difficult for me to write the tests right now. Okay, let's just take it one step at a time. I'll review the API documentation. Let's do that first. Okay, so here's the API that we're trying. We have implemented the get server type, and we have get asset pairs. These are all public, both public. So let's see. We can get ticker information. Let's just see how this looks like. What are ABC? Price, whole lot volume. Huh? Asset pair. Today's prices start at midnight UTC. Leaving the pair parameter blank will return tickets for all tradable assets. Ticker information. So what are the... Okay, let's say 1 inch euro. Let's say this is the one we are asking for, and then it includes only this. So we have A, B, C, V, P, P, L, H, O. High, low, Okay, so ask, bid, last trade closed, volume, volume weighted average price, number of trades in the last 24 hours. Okay. Low price, high price, and opening price. Okay, so that's the scheme. Now, this API is, I guess, easier to work with to some extent, but I still have to fit it within my structure. So let me just grab what we have here. We can delete that. And we also have already defined the API keys, the API structure. So we can define a new model, new, what was it called? New method. Yeah. And where this will give us ticker, get ticker info. And this will be self, and we can have pair. Pair equals that. And that's it, right? We can only provide pair here. Okay. So that's it. That's it here. I do want to adjust this one above as well to also be pair. Okay. And then we can say, we can add a description and say this is information about particular or about ticker, provides ask, bid, last trade closed, volume, volume weighted average price, number of trades. So this is 100% redundant. Like, I don't think this needs to be done at all. Like, but I feel like I need to do it because I have so much room for error. So yeah, and it's also given me time to think really well and do something related to the code. So yeah, I have no idea what's the next step here. I have this, but I don't necessarily know, and error as well. I don't necessarily know how to proceed. I mean, I guess it's easy if I start looking at the previous ones. So we can endpoints, and we can say this equals ticker. But I see even like here would be pair equal pair. But this would need to be a variable, which I think was defined like this. So I need to be f. And I wonder if this is going to work. I guess here also with asset pairs from last time, we have pair and we have info. So we can go f asset pairs, right? Asset pairs. We can say 1 inch. Okay. And info. Okay, info would be info. Info would be full, all info. Yeah. Default is info. Okay, I mean, we can still say this is that. And there is pair info equals info. this should work in theory. I don't know. I'll check it later. I'll ask the AI to check, is it good or is it not? Now, we have Copilot as well here. Yeah, that's fine. So now it's a matter of how do we, what else do I need to do here? Because like, okay, I have, I need to try, I guess I'm just gonna go for the response. Try response equals requests get, and I'm gonna get here. Okay, so this is where we structure the API. So self.api URL, and then there we go, self API public. When we're writing these, we're calling like these sections here. So we're calling API URL and then public, which is by the 0. And then we do endpoint, which is this one, which is right here, right? That's the same one. And this is also the same one here. So it doesn't leave the how do you call it? It doesn't leave the class or the method. It doesn't leave the method. So now here, I feel like this is wrong. And I'm just going to repeat the mistake because, it is what it is. I don't know any better. But what I do need to find a way is pass on the pair parameter. Because later on, I'm going to call this function, this method, and I'm going to say, okay, get ticker info and self. I have yet to come to that part where I need to understand how self will be used. And then pair will likely have to be provided, like 1-inch euro or 1-inch USD. So that's just the example of BTC, USD, XX, BTC, whatever the Kraken API has. So let's just go with pair equals. I'm just gonna go with this. I really don't know if it's all right. So response dot phase for status. This is apparently a standard uh, request to check, to give a status like 200, 400, 500, 404, 303, whatever. I don't know. I don't know all the status codes, but yeah, that's what would happen. So we need to create a new line here. Okay, try return. Okay, except. So this is if the response is failing or if there is an error, whatever, we should return an error of some kind. So except if requests dot exceptions dot request exception as B. So this is the error. And we can even rewrite it if we want. That would be print 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 print. I'm starting to realize that even the above. So why am I printing? Like, I don't know. Printf error getting ticker information. But then we have error. All right. Race. All right. I'm not sure everything here is good. but it is what it is. Okay, let's save it. Let's say, hey, I've added the ticker info method, and you please check. And let's have the AI check in for us. Let's see where I fucked up. It's probably gonna comment on this because I left this in. It's not gonna understand that. Oh, it might think it's mine as well. So what is this response equals get? No, you don't need to adjust. So you don't need to make any changes. Just educate me and be my teacher / mentor / boss. The AI is my boss. I am asking it to write tasks for me. Okay, well, that's a lot. Okay, let's read. This is what I do. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. So your implementation of the get ticker info method follows the same structure as the other methods, using a try except block and raising the error after logging it. Let's review and discuss some key points. You've constructed the endpoint as a ticker question mark pair equals pair. Traditionally, when dealing with query parameters, you can either format them directly in the URL as you did, or use the params parameter with request.get. The params option offers more flexibility and avoids potential URL formatting issues. For example, if the endpoint is /ticker, params would be pair, response would be results.get, a self API URL, self API public, and endpoints, and then params. So basically, it wants me to repeat this to the exact specification, but then you correctly wrap the API call in a try except error. The use of response raised for status is a good practice because it ensures that bad HTTP status codes like 4xx and 5xx errors are turned into exceptions, which are then caught and handled. The error message that gets printed also gives you insight into what went wrong, which is valuable for debugging. Raising the exception. After logging the error, you raise the exception so that any calling code can decide how to handle it further. This is especially useful in larger applications where error logging or alternative flows like retries may be needed. So it's suggesting right now the use of the params approach, which I still don't get fully. So it's supposed to be part of the requests, but I don't necessarily know. Let me see requests params thing. So requests params quick start using the params keyword argument. So how do you use params? It's saying passing parameters in URLs. You want to send some sort of data in the URL query string. If you are constructing the URL by hand, this data would be given as a key value pair of the URL after the question mark. Example, key equals value. Requests allow you to provide these arguments as a dictionary of strings using parameters keyword argument. As an example, if you wanted to pass key 1 equals value 1 and key 2 equals value 2 to http bin.org/get, you would use the following code. Payload equals key 1 value 1, key 2 value 2. R equals request get params payload. So, okay, so let me have a look. I think I get it now. And if we have it, why not use it? So we have, for example, like here, parameters pair, and okay, let's create a task. Let's create a task to create sample calls that would request data from the methods we have created. How do we do that? Yeah, please write a task for me. Write a task for me to try to do it and include minimal guidance. So if I want to see first, like, okay, if when I call these methods, you can please create an MD file. Yeah, it's a bit weird, when you go through sessions, it's always gonna be different. So I feel like it's giving way too much. So objective, test the following methods. Let's see. In a new Python script or interactive session. Okay. So in a new Python script or interactive session, import the Kraken API, instantiate the client, create an instance of the Kraken API, and test methods. For each method, use a try except log to catch errors and print the output. Try, run and validate. All right, let's try to do this. I mean, the code is here, but I'll type it myself. That's a sort of a limitation because it's trying to serve you, even though I told it, hey, give me as little guidance as possible. It's still trying to do it for you, which is, I guess, not the worst, but not the best. So the thing is, I don't know where this file should go. So where should this file go? Is this a part of the application that we are building? Or would you consider this a new application that simply uses this one? Or how do I understand best? So this is, I feel like, where the AI shines. It's like I have a relatively decent developer who I can ask, like, hey, why does this work the way it does work? So let's see what it says. It says the sample calls task documentation is intended to be a part of the project's documentation. That is, it serves. Yeah, but I'm not talking about the documentation. I'm not. About the script that will be used. That is in a new Python script or interactive session. So the Python script used to test the sample API calls is separate from the core application. It is not part of the main deployed, but serves as a demonstration or testing script. You can create it as a standalone file, for example, in an example, so scripts, and run it interactively to verify that the Kraken API methods work as expected. This approach helps isolate utility code. Can we make it in tests? Can we make it in tests? Because we have a folder for that, so why not there? Makes sense. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So we're gonna create a new file. Test. Oh, my camera went off. Fix that. There you go. Okay, so we need to create a new file here. Test, what was it called? Test sample calls. I mean, if you're decent at coding, you're gonna be watching this and be like, oh man, why is he asking so many stupid questions? But that's the beauty of it. I don't have to ask you those stupid questions. I just ask the AI, and the AI doesn't judge, not like you. So yeah, that's why I asked it and not you. I guess It's a joke. It's a joke. Relax. Chill. Um, so the next step would be this. So we have, let's say, the instructions is import the Kraken API script. So from from Kraken API bot src API client import Kraken API by. Okay, that's done. Now we say client here equals Kraken API client. Okay. And for each method, use a try except block. Okay, so we try, we try. Let's see. Let me see. So I wanna get like this, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what I'll need, but just gonna get those. Get that. Get that. And get this. Okay. So try. Oh, well, what do we try? Okay, so that's how you structure it. So I'm just giving it a new name. So this will be server client, let's say, equals client dot. So client from here, which is, I don't know what this is called. Let's say what is in test sample false called. What is it called? What is that? Is it import and the instance? It's called an instance. Instant in instant instant iteration. Instantation. Okay, we're gonna have to check that word. Instantation. How do you pronounce that? Instantation. Yeah. And where did I go wrong? Instant bits. There's no bits here. Okay, so instant PH from instantiation. Pronunciation. Somebody else was looking for this. Let's hear it. Instantiation. Yeah, that sucks. Instantiation. Instantiation. Okay, that's a bit better. I think feels more natural. Come on. We don't want to watch instantiation. Okay, that thing. So we're gonna create instances, basically. Okay, so we need to create instances of the method, of the class that we have. And now we're gonna call the methods in try except block. So we're gonna try. This should be simple. So we have the get server time, and we send nothing, huh? Okay, print server time, and then it's server. But that's so weird to me. I don't understand why it's put exactly this way. But exception as e print and error fetching server time. E. So yeah, let's try running this and see what we get. Just gonna run a terminal. And we wanna then scripts activate and script activate. What was it called? Was it like just opposite? Then scripts activate. Okay, let me remind myself how to activate it. Then talk about that. About the Kraken bots. Vote Kraken bots. Okay, there we go. Then scripts activate. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Now we're gonna go to Kraken bots, tests, and test sample calls. Oh, I wanna run it. So Python. Wait. So I don't have anything. Python about. I think we can just copy over this. I want to run it with Python. Maybe I need to. No module name Kraken API bot. So from Kraken API bot, no module name Kraken API. Well, from SRC, maybe like this. Showing now. No module named SRC. So I'm getting errors. Getting errors there. Just gonna paste that. Should be able to isolate what the error is. I don't think it's. So at the top, to resolve this, adjust how Python locates your modules. Here are two common approaches. Adjust SIS.path in your test file. Import SIS. Or instead of running the test, execute the test from the project root. So just gonna go back. So it's read the. So gonna go back to Kraken API, and then we go Python. And okay, so that's how you. So this won't work. Can't open file. No such file. So Python, and I don't have a dash here. And relative module names not supported. Okay, let's try saying this is what's happening. Okay, so what about this? No module in SRC. Oops. Okay. So this still persists as an error. Okay, so it wants me to revert back here. So it could be Kraken, not API underscore bot dot tests. No, but dot SRC. Okay. Client import Kraken. Also ensure that each folder, Kraken API, SRC, and API contains an init.py so that they are recognized as packages. Finally, run your tests from the project root with the proper Python path. Okay. So yeah, that's sucks that I have to run it like this. Ideally, I would have run it, just normally. But Python M, Kraken, API, alt best sample. I could just go in the folder and run it as well. Hey, we got it. It works. So, but what did we get? We didn't get. What we got? Why did we get? So we got also data for 1-inch euro here. So this is what I got. It's weird. It's weird. We got this output. So there is no error. And there is no error, but I don't see where I'm calling the... Yes, but why? Why do we get pair data, which should only be server time? From what I can understand, it's the pair data is coming from the call to the ticker method in your test file. In your current test script, you're invoking both the ticker info and the server time methods. Comment out or remove the ticker method call. Well, where is it exactly? Can we point it out? Well, can you point out where exactly I'm calling the ticker? Because I don't see it. So I guess this get server time. That's it, right? So in your test script, the sample code provided in the MD file or in your test file. So when we run this test sample calls .py, this because there is no .py. In your test script, the sample code provided to the MD or in the ticker method is invoked in a try except block similar like this. But is he talking about this here? Try print. Okay, but that's not the file I'm calling. Calling best sample calls.py. It's not even in the same folder. Like it cannot be. I really don't understand. Is it something in a client? In you're only calling the ticker method. Get ticker is not being invoked at all. Yes, exactly. But the output contains ticker information. And if we go to the API here, and just see, it doesn't really. So it returns an error, result, Unix time, and that's it. Like here we get much more here. The code is executed immediately when the module is imported, which is why you can see data even though your test file only calls get server time. To prevent this, consider moving the test block into a separate script or protecting it with an if name equals main condition. So the ticker output is coming from your code in your specifically. What? So the block starting at, oh, I see. Okay, I see. I'm done. So this is running. So it's calling the function, but this is also run. Okay, yeah. I'm so stupid. And I was like commenting even before, oh, DA is probably gonna catch this and say, well, why did you put this in? Okay, okay, so this works fine. We get the server time. There's no error. We have a result in Unix time. I don't know what this means in how to translate it yet. And we get RFC 1123, which is something. What is it? We can still use Google. Official specification of the internet community. Ah, so day, month, year. Day, month, year. That's good. That's the correct format. Okay. So let's see. Let's write more. Let's write more test. Let's try. Uh, uh, Maybe I can just print here. Print ER. How do I print a broke? How do I print break lines in Python for the terminal? N. Okay, so print. That would be, I guess, another way to print out these if you want to. So server time, like how do I split server time into a dictionary and then print each of them neatly? So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe in the future. So and this should be a bunch of lines. So let's say 2 lines, and then just want to print test, save, run it again. Try. No, don't try it. Okay, so it's expecting that try. So I'll learn 14 now. Try. Okay, so let's try. How do we call it? We have asset pairs. So let's try asset pair equals while without get asset pairs. And then we can say here except, and then one more tried, and that one is for clicker info equals client get. It needs to be get clicker info. So this needs to be like that, except, I don't know, except. So we need to specify here. We need to specify the pairs. So how do we do that? We do it like pair. That is what it's expecting. It's expecting a pair and info. So pair would be 1 inch true, and info would be info. Okay. Oops. And then we'll print pairs. Info and inbound assets. Asset pair. Asset pair. Okay. And then except exception. Should S3 print error in getting then asset pairs information. Getting fetching. Getting asset pairs. All right. So I'm gonna eat We can also copy that over here. And this, we can copy it. I really don't like that. That's, one thing about this very good about AI. You don't have to type as much. I have to type because I'm trying to learn. But if you are already a good programmer, you really don't have to type. And I'm gonna type it once. I think it's good. So we have now ticker info. Ticker info. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna do pair. Let me just check. Is it pair expected? Yeah, that's what's expected. And we do 1 inch Europe. Europe. Okay. Save it. I see some errors happen, but let's run it. Invalid syntax. Accept. This needs to be, and this needs to be indented. Okay. So we have 3 lines here. Why 3? Save. Sorry again. Now we have 2 lines. And if we just print nothing, is this 1 line? Yeah, that's 1 line. And so we're not gonna print test. We're gonna print asset pairs info, and then we're gonna do like and here and in between, gonna do like prints and space so we can see where it begins. Error in getting ticker info. Interesting. 1 inch Euro. Very interesting. So asset pairs we got an unexpected keyword argument there. So who got the unexpected keyword argument there? Because here it is pair. But maybe this is I think this is not being structured properly, because here we're using the params, so parameters. So let's do that. We're gonna say params equals, and I need to define. So it's gonna be pair. Pair equals if. So I really don't know if this is gonna work, but what does it even mean, man? I wrote this like last time. Obviously I didn't understand jack shit. So here I have no idea why this works. So I'm guessing it's so convoluted for me. Let me try to understand. Can you explain to me why this syntax is the way it is? How does this all connect? So the code is combining 2 common ways to pass query parameters in HTTP. Using an f-string to create the URL. Okay, embeds the values of pair and info. And then using a parameters dictionary. The lines show an alternative way to supply a query. So accept a pairs dictionary, which they use to build the query pairs. But they had in the documentation here, the pairs were built way differently, like compared to what the AI did. So the AI basically recommended this. I followed. But what it's saying is I should do something like this. We have key and values pairs. So I have only one pair, but how do I say use the whatever is provided in the code? That's what I don't understand. So I wanted to grab this, let's say 1 inch here. So I'm providing it here. Oops. I'm providing it here. And that's what I want to say. Hey, you should expect that something will be provided here in the pair. So how do I do that? How do I say, hey, this is... So I know that I'm saying here, hey, you can expect that something will be here, but it should also work without anything. It's just going to return everything, which is not what we want. We're almost never going to want everything all at once. Uh, Maybe sometimes, but most times I don't think so. I think most times it's just going to be, okay, I'm interested in this pair. I want to test how the AI is going to perform on these specific pairs. So let's get all of the data provided to the AI so it can make try to make a good decision. Basically, is uh, what we're trying to do. So I need to make a dictionary. Let's start with that. Let's refresh. So what is a dictionary in Python? It's like an array. That's how I get it. Maybe it's a key pair, key value pairs. So it's defined by curly braces. Yeah, I can see it. So curly braces. Each key in the directory must be unique and immutable, like number strings, while values can be of any type. You can access, insert, and modify elements by referencing their keys. So how do I set up a variable that the user would provide when calling the method? Python, you can simply define a parameter in the method signature and use that variable inside the method. So pair, if for example, pair is the variable, yes. If pair is none, arrays valued error of trading pair must be provided. That's not correct, not necessary. So use the provided variable to build the query dictionary. And this is where I get lost because I have parents. I mean, I don't have to call it parents. I just need to call it here parents. So I have a pair that is so this is technically correct and it's super insane to me. So it's a pair and paired. And this pair equals pair should be correct. That's what I'm saying. No, not if, not anything. Okay, so this should be correct because parents is pair. I'm literally okay. Let's try it out. Error getting thicker. 404 not found for URL. Okay, so we are misconstructing uh the pair. Okay, let's see. We have the endpoint, and then we have pairs. Right. So why is this repeating? So we have twice 0, thicker pair, and then we have this repeating. Yeah, that's error getting 404. That's so cool. Like the request exception, response JSON, request exception. Now that we're trying to use it, this error handling is actually helping me understand a bit better. Yeah, and then we have a repeat action because it's also here error handling for some reason. Okay, I mean, I guess it's redundant. Yeah, I could have done it only once. I should have been okay. Okay, so API public is 0. Endpoint is this. It's correct. We're just getting a duplication of the endpoint somehow. Why is my endpoint? Why is my endpoint being duplicated when constructed? The endpoint is being duplicated because you're including the query parameters twice. Huh? Endpoint, asset pairs, and pair info. But no, I'm talking about, is that, no, that works. It's fine. That works, right? Yeah. Asset pairs work. I'm talking about ticket information. And the endpoint is duplicated because you're encoding the query parameters here directly into the endpoint string using an F string, and then also passing it as an additional argument to request.get incorrectly as pair. Okay, that's where do I say pair? Here? This is incorrect. Pair equals pair. I'm not using that particular one. Are you sure? This results in the query parameter being added twice. To resolve this, choose one approach. Either include the query parameters within the URL string or pass it as a parameter via the dictionary, via the pair. Okay, so I don't understand. I think I'm only using one way to do it. So if I compare this endpoint, sorry, I'm getting sleepy, I guess. If I could compare this endpoint with this endpoint, what is the difference? It's an F slash. And here we're just saying parameters, and this is a dictionary. And if pair is provided, I guess, even though it might seem like you're only using one method, the dicker method does both. It builds the URL with the query parameters using an F string to insert pair into endpoints, and then mistakenly passes pair equals pair as an extra keyword to the, so what should I just do like this work, and out, error, too many values to pack. So what about this? It's like a bit brute forcing. So none of these work, right? So none of these work. Pair. Using S string to insert pair into endpoint and then mistakenly passes pair equals pair as an extra keyword. Since the build URL already includes the query parameter, adding pair is redundant and can cause duplication. Simply remove the pair equals pair, but it's pair is pair, but it's params equals pair, not pair parent. And you'll read the file again, please. I'm recording. So if you want to be on the video in your pajamas, I'm gonna post this on YouTube. No cuts. I'm coding. I'm trying to code and trying to figure out solutions, problems. And I'm just recording, documenting my progress so that this goes on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe it helps me get some momentum. Like it's easier for me to sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna make an hour-long video and just post it. It's like gives a bit more structure, even though I maybe write only one method in the hour. I don't know. It's also I'm sharing like with people maybe how I'm using AI to learn programming. So maybe somebody else starts to learn as well. And I really don't. Any other questions? How long today? Until I get this bug fixed. You can always decide and then come back. Where are you going? What's at least the what I got what's moving? Okay. Why don't you go find a movie? I'm hoping to get to a solution fast. So I could technically ask the AI, hey, solve this for me. I'll try to figure out. You try. Yeah. I'm just following this. But I want to get out of here, baby. We knew that I have done what I was doing, and now I'm trying to do something. Listen. Let me give you some instructions, if that's okay. So continue doing what you're doing. In the meantime, make some popcorn, and with that, some tea is fine as well. And then we can look at what movie you can find a movie for us to watch. I'll join you as soon as possible. All right. Okay, so where were we? In your ticker method, the apparent duplication stems from two things. You build the endpoint string to already include the query parameter. Okay, and how is this different from the other one? So public has the pairs, but pair, info, pair. It's the same. It's the same. That means your URL is already something like, yes, okay. Then you reassign the variable with pair equals pair. But it doesn't see this. It passes. Okay, really, you're using a set pair instead of a dictionary, which isn't the proper structure for query pairs. If you intended to supply the previous pairs, you would normally construct a dictionary line. Okay, so if, and then I say, yeah, maybe it's because these are the same. Like I was, maybe that's, okay, let's try running it like this. It's still an error. There's still an error, so I'm still getting. So I fixed it. But I'm still getting an error. Yeah, you see, it's still duplicated. I don't know why. The error includes the query. To fix this, use one method to pass parameters. For example, modify your ticker method like this. I'm not gonna read that. This way, the URL will be constructed properly. Okay, I have to read it. Oh, it is. So we have define get ticker information self pair node. Oh, that's there. If not pair, raise value error. I don't want that. Endpoint ticker. Okay, so endpoint just ticker. But here, why does it work here and it doesn't work? Oh my God, what the fuck? It's like it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. If so, I think. Okay, so let's try like this, right? We do the ticker. Let's just try it. Doesn't hurt. We're still getting an error, but now we don't get no URL found ticker. So it might be that ticker information, this is ticker. And public ticker. Okay, so we need public. Yeah, it doesn't understand that we do leave that, so it will be public. But now we have fixed the duplication, and we get the results. So that's curious. So if I wanted to, technically, let me just try it so I understand what's happening. This would be question mark pair equals uh pair, right? And then if we comment this out and run this like this, should still work. Error. Params is not defined. Okay. So here it would be just like paired. All right. Yeah, that works. That works. So basically, I was just sending it twice. But okay, so I need to ask this. So if so I managed to fix it, but I have this typing tool, right? Uh, just a second. I think I can type using my voice. Oh, voice. Was it? Yeah, well, Alt V. I need to check these extensions. So, voice. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I cannot type there direct. So let me just try this. Okay, so I managed to fix it, but I still don't understand what is the difference between the two methods. Because in the get asset pairs method, I have a dictionary and I use F in the endpoint, but it's not being duplicated. While in the ticker info, it was getting duplicated, and I don't understand why. Please explain in very clear terms why this is the case. Like, why doesn't it duplicate in the asset pairs info just as it did in the ticker info? So, okay, I mean that's one way to do it. I mean, it helps when you can just talk to write the prompt. It really does help. So let's see. Okay, I think we wrap it up here. Both methods are doing a similar thing in that they include the query parameters um, in two places. Directly in the endpoint string via an F string, in the parameters passed via params argument to request get. In your asset pairs method, you have endpoint f public asset pair and info. Parameters, if pair, parameters pair equals pair, if info parameters info equals info, and then response equals requests dot get. Okay, we're structuring the URL, and if we wrap it off with params equals parameters. Even though the query parameters are in both the URL and the params dictionary, the keys and values match. The request library merges these values, and Kraken's endpoint either ignores duplicates or uses one value, so you don't see. However, in your ticker info method, you accidentally did a couple of things. You build the endpoint with an embedded query parameters, which is the same as previously. Then you reassign pair as a set pair equals pair instead of constructing a proper dictionary. Okay. And pass that via pairs. So let's try that. Let's try that because here, technically, we have f, and now we say pair equals pair. And I need to add a f here, function. So yes, and then we have pair. Okay. Instead of constructing a proper dictionary and pass that via pairs. This led to the final. The key, cancel, save. Let's try it. I don't think this is gonna work. It works now. What is the difference? Was it just that I said pair? Here? Pair equals pair? Or the reassignment thing? No, now I cannot even recreate it now. Like, what the fuck? What was wrong? I don't know. I don't know. It works now. I don't know what was wrong. I'm just gonna return it to problems. Okay. Oh, that's how long it takes for a beginner to write. This actually we wrote this and we made some adjustments, but we got the responses and we got a way to test, and it should be easy to add. Like next time, I think we'll also add. So let's wrap it up with that. Okay. Okay. I still don't get it. I don't get it because I cannot recreate the issue now. But doesn't matter. Let's wrap up for today and prepare for next step. Next step. Can you create an initialization protocol for us? Based on the way we interacted today. So I can reference these rules next time. Let's see if it's understanding what I'm trying to ask, because English is quite unspecific. So below, always start by verifying environmental to check, module import. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's it. So we had the first 5, right? Is that complete? Sample calls, I think we did it, right? We tested, run, validate. Yeah, we did. Has been successfully completed and document. Has it? I mean, it's yeah, sure. Solution, and I have it. Solution is this. Okay. So let's prepare. So let's prepare the next steps. 6 or tomorrow. This way, at least we have something going for us. Right? Should be easier to start. Tomorrow, I'm just gonna go right into it. I'm not gonna bother explaining. Okay, so extend order book and recent trades. Okay, that's fine. That's good. They're gonna be doing the API stuff for a bit more. Okay, so save that. Save. Thank you so much. Thank you so much if you were watching. If you have any advice for me, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I'll try to respond. That's that. Thanks so much. Appreciate you. Bye bye.